as a freight train. That's what I'm hearing from my sister-in-law south of Fairhope.
Yep.
She described it as a freight train about 2 o'clock this morning, 1:30 this morning. I immediately went and checked for a tornado warning for her. There wasn't one. That's just how loud the whistling of this wind is.
What these hurricanes sound like. John will tell you that, and I tell you, it's this turned into something that I don't think anybody expected, John, but the whole way it was so hard to predict what this storm was going to do.
It was mainly where it was going to go. We knew what the effects were going to be.
Yeah.
Right.
It was, are they going to be here, or is it going to slide down the coast a little bit? When something's moving 2 miles an hour, it's really just drifting. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what's happening right now. This is Sally. Sally is a hurricane, and at this point a Category 2 hurricane with 105-mile-per-hour winds and moving north-northeast at a snail's pace of 3 miles per hour. The worst of the weather is finding its way onshore right now. Eventually, this is going to work its way through our neighborhood, but by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it's still in northwest Florida as a Category 1 hurricane, and by tomorrow morning, it's just exiting our neighborhood as a tropical storm. Beyond that, it will move into Georgia and the Carolinas, and our weather will ease going into Thursday and Friday. But in the meantime, we have a lot on our plate with Sally right now, and those 105-mile-an-hour winds are likely in the bands of rain that are coming onshore right now. Weather alerts include flash flood warnings across much of the News 5 area, including southern parts of Mobile, central and southern Baldwin County, all of the Florida Panhandle, and even as far north as Conecuh County and Escambia County in Alabama. And these run through the mid-morning hours in a lot of cases. Here's the radar. This is Sally. This whole thing is Sally, but here's the eye wall of Sally. And the eye wall is that area around the eye with the strongest thunderstorms and the heaviest rain. We have bands of heavy rain and some tornadoes already this morning coming in off of Wright and through Okaloosa County and working their way into the center. But the actual eye wall is stretching from about Fairhope over to Gulf Breeze, and I'm going to take you through all of the communities we can find that are being affected right now. Foley, the rain was blowing sideways just a couple of minutes ago in Foley. You actually are going to get a little relaxing in your weather right now, and Gulf Shores, as you'll see, is under the eye of Sally at this point. Now, when you're in the eye of that storm, things quiet for a brief period of time, and then eventually the backside of this comes on you. So as you work your way into a storm and into the eye, the storms get worse and worse and worse, and then progressively, and then finally you're in the eye wall and it's terrible. And then the eye comes and it's quiet. On the backside of that, it doesn't work that way. You immediately go back into the worst of the storms. There's no buildup. So that's why we always say, don't take this eye lightly. Just enjoy the quiet, figure out if everything is settled for you, if you know exactly where you're supposed to be in your home, that sort of thing. All right, so Barnwell, Somerdale, Robertsdale, Elsinore, all in the worst of the weather right now, along with Lillian and Sherman Grove, Chanticleer, all in the eye wall of Sally as it starts to make its way onshore. At News 5, we've got blustery winds and rain, and much of Mobile County is seen tropical storm force winds and very heavy rain. Here's the Unity Fiber camera in Pensacola. ATMORE, Wind Creek Casino and Hotel. You can see it's raining to beat the band there, and it's going to get worse in ATMORE in just the next few minutes. Our two-day rainfall totals, especially along the coast, are astonishing so far, and the rain is still falling. 17 inches in Foley, 10 in Ferry Pass, over a foot in Pensacola, 14 inches of rain in Wright, and 19.1 showing up in Gulf Shores, and that may not be the highest spot. I didn't check every little pixel on this picture. There may be over 20-inch rainfalls out here in this white area, and I will tell you from long experience that the Doppler estimates of rainfall are actually very good. So there's a lot of rain here. That's why there's a flood emergency in South Baldwin County. The rainfall totals elsewhere are less impressive. You get up here into Leakesville and Jackson and Monroeville, it's an inch or less. But rain is coming your way. It won't be the kind of rain we're seeing at the coast, but you could get 4 to 6 inches of rain out of this storm before all is said and done. We're already seeing that. Mobile County up into Escambia County, northern parts of Baldwin County, and the heavier rain is moving into those areas, which could get 10 to 15 inches of rain before all is said and done. But the flood emergencies right now are taking place at the coast, where there is still rain falling, and the forecast is for over 2 feet of rain in some places in South Baldwin County and upwards of 20 inches throughout much of the Florida Panhandle. So you can see why we have this situation. Creeks can't deal with that kind of stuff. Streets can't deal with that kind of stuff. The ground is already soaked. The water is running off quickly. Flooding is a real danger. And if you are in a place where the water is rising, it may be that you would have to get out in this kind of weather. I hope that you have already made a plan, but you need to find high ground if water is coming up into your home at this point. And I'm guessing it is for a lot of people. Here are the winds that are happening right now. You see the center of circulation here moving into Mobile Bay, and you've got 18, 20 mile per hour winds in our more northern communities, but you get down here closer to the coastline and it's tropical storm force winds by the time you get to Mobile, and we've had 90+ mile per hour winds in South Baldwin County with wind gusts now at 103 miles per hour on Dauphin Island. Fort Morgan not reporting right now, but Fort Morgan has been right at or with Dauphin Island the whole way, so I'm assuming you have seen winds over 100 miles per hour at some point on Fort Morgan Peninsula this morning, and probably Gulf Shores and Foley too. 63 mile an hour wind gust at Mobile's Airport. 41 is above tropical storm strength in Milton. Later today, this weather will move more to the north. Right now, hurricane warnings remain up for the coastal counties, but you know there's a hurricane. There's no need to warn you anymore. It's here. But the tropical storm warning means that there will be tropical storm conditions in our more northern communities just a little bit later on. A tornado watch is in effect for the Florida Panhandle and for Baldwin County and Mobile Bay. A watch means that tornadoes and severe thunderstorms are possible, and we've seen several tornado warnings that spun up quickly this morning. The next concern down the road is river flooding, and that is going to be on you very quickly in Bayou Sara. Right now, 3 feet is where the bayou is. Flood stage is 4 feet. You get up to 5 feet, it's going to get up around the railroad tracks, and this is going to get to 8.5 feet later today. Not very long from now. Later today, 8.5 feet. That is a serious flood level for Bayou Sara. Fish River, you may not have seen water like this since maybe Danny. 8.5 feet now, flood stage 11 feet. 21.7 feet is forecast later today, 10 feet above flood stage on the Fish River. And then we go to the Styx River in Baldwin County, and there are some neighborhoods along the Styx River, and there are also a lot of campgrounds where people actually camp long term, and those often get cut off by floodwaters. There's a real danger there. The level right now is at 9.5 feet. The flood stage is 12, but look at what we are forecasting for later today, 27 feet. That's really a flood emergency for you. And the Perdido River in Escambia County, 4.3 feet, flood stage 13 feet, and it's going to get up over 25 feet by, I say Thursday morning, but really it's overnight Wednesday night into Thursday morning, so maybe midnight, 1 a.m., something like that. Storm surge potential 3 to 5 feet along coastal Alabama, coastal Mississippi. Move up into Mobile Bay. It may be higher, 4 to 7 feet around Bon Secour Bay, but now the winds are going to start coming out of the northeast in those areas, so that storm surge will start to ease. It's still picking up and still getting higher along the Florida Panhandle. We had a data buoy reading just a little while ago of over 4 feet along the coast in Pensacola area. I believe it was right around there somewhere. So already at 4 feet or above. Down the road a piece, you're looking at today being a day that is going to see a lot of effects of Hurricane Sally, not just this morning, but throughout the day. And then it will begin to ease by tonight. Tomorrow we're back to some scattered showers, and the weekend actually looks very nice, but you have got to get yourself through